Hey everybody, 3 o'clock or shortly thereafter. This is the weekly user vlog and user for drivers. So coming to you live from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the UZURV operations team, we arrived here shortly, or just just a short while ago. And we are meeting with several drivers down in the lobby of the hotel. We've moved from doing these meet and greets at Starbucks or small venues, restaurants, things like that, into the hotels with a lot more room, a little more amenities, a little bit more time to be able to focus with drivers without being interrupted. And it's working out pretty well. So just want to say hello to everybody. Welcome to 2017. And we've committed to at least for the month of January in hitting some major markets and spending some more quality time with drivers, and we're going to be devoting ourselves to this task for at least the foreseeable future. So this week we're in Philadelphia. We're going to spend 2 days here as opposed to just doing one meet and greet. We're actually doing several. We'll be here in Philly and then in Baltimore on Thursday on the way back, I believe. And then just stay tuned to UZURV for Drivers, this Facebook group. We'll keep you posted on all of the activities of the operations team, where we're going to be. We are in the process of shipping all of the requested promotional materials that you have all requested via the web form. So all of those shipments are now going out of a central location versus out of the UZURV office due to the volume and the number of requests. This is the best way that we can get that stuff out to you. And of course, it is all at this time free of charge. So the decals, the headrest covers, all the cards and the inserts that go into the headrest covers are all finally shipping out. So if you're on the list, they are coming. I know there have been several comments here in Facebook. UZURV for Drivers, when you requested decals and you haven't seen anything yet, it is coming. So if you're on the list, like I said, it's on its way, and we'll see how our new fulfillment center works out. If it works out very well, then we're going to start increasing the number of items and potentially some higher quality items that we're able to ship out of there. And if we can get it all done quickly, our goal is to shorten the time that it takes from when you submit a form and say, hey, I need 2 decals for the doors of my vehicle. Then those will be shipped out immediately, and you'll have those within a couple of days. So stay tuned as we ramp up the fulfillment center and the shipping. And as we hit more and more cities, we obviously have promotional materials with us, including shirts. So make sure when we're in your city that you make the effort to stop by the hotel where we're going to have the meet and greets. And we'll be sending out information, like I said, on this group, UZURV for Drivers, as well as via text message and email. We're finding out that even though you have your UZURV driver account registered to a specific email, not a lot of us check all of our emails all the time. And since you're getting driver newsletters once a week, rider newsletters once a week, sometimes everything can get lost in the mix, and we want to make sure you get notified immediately. So you'll be getting text messaging directly from UZURV operations alerting you to the upcoming meetings in your city. So next week, I believe we're heading west through, I want to say West Virginia and Ohio, mainly Cincinnati market again. And then the following week is Charlotte, North Carolina. And then the following week is going to be Dallas, Texas. So that will probably be the first trip that UZURV operations jumps on a plane versus driving through all the states. And we're going to fly straight to Dallas and spend 2 quality days there and do the meet and greet in that large market. And hopefully with the major turnout, we'll be able to get a lot of questions answered in person. Make sure that drivers feel comfortable with the app. Make sure drivers are feeling comfortable referring riders and explaining how the platform works, and getting the referral credit and growing the system. So right now we are seeing, and I say this every week, we're seeing exponential growth. We see the curve constantly changing up, and you think we're going to double in 1 week. No, sometimes it's triple. No, next week sometimes it's 4 times, 5 times. So In this market here, Philadelphia, it's been open a few months, and we're well over 400 drivers on the platform. The airport here is extremely busy. It's a great market for UZURV. It's been very well adopted, and this market is booming. That's why we're here as our first market in 2017. Make sure that everyone has the support that they need directly from the UZURV operations team, and we've got 5 of us here today to handle the number of drivers that are coming in. So I want to say thanks to my team, Harold Franz, Chris Sost, Daryl Franz, and Dr. Amjad Hassan for being here with me to help roll this out in this market. So we look forward to seeing you in any of those 3 cities that are upcoming. There may be cities in between that we post on the announcements that we're going to be doing a quick hour-and-a-half meet and greet in a smaller market that's somewhere on the route to where we're headed. So our goal is to be able to shake hands and say hi and thank you for your participation with UZURV, and we'll be sure to give you the quality time that you need while we're there. Moving on to some of the topics that we wanted to cover today. We just finished the driver payout for the month of December, and just so everyone always remembers, the payout date is the 7th. 7th of the month, that's what we've committed to from the beginning. And we try to initiate the payments as early as the 2nd. We reconcile everything on the 1st. We start processing on the 2nd. If we can get the physical check in your hand from Bank of America, payment systems that goes directly to your mailbox, if we can get that to you by the 7th, that's our goal. If it takes 3 to 5 business days beyond that, we apologize, but our goal is to make sure that every driver gets paid out everything that you're due. And if there's a problem, don't worry, just email support@uzurv.com and try to figure out what your issue is specific to your situation. So you're also available to hit any of us up from the operations team here in UZURV for Drivers. You can tag us directly in a post. You can send a message via Facebook Messenger. We're always available to you guys, and you can email any one of us directly by first name at uzurv.com. So mine is Jeff at UZURV. You've got Harold at UZURV. You've got Amjad at UZURV, Chris at UZURV, and Daryl at UZURV. And Daryl's name is DARRYLL. So 2 R's, 2 L's in Daryl's name. But any of us 5 are happy to answer your questions. As far as the administration of all of the driver relationship, feel free to send that directly to me, and I'm happy to help each one of you. You know that I'm available pretty much all the time, and I am a driver. I am actively out there, typically on Friday and Saturday nights. When our university students are in town here in Richmond, Virginia, you'll see me out on Thursday nights as well. But I'm usually available, and I try to respond as quickly as possible to each of your needs personally. And our team of 5 all has very specific roles that they fill. And if we need to direct you to another person, we definitely will. But our goal is to get your issue handled as quickly as possible. Support@uzurv.com is always available for you. The volume of tickets coming in, majority of the questions that come into our support desk are very, very basic questions about how much do I get paid if I do a reservation. There is still some confusion that UZURV is a tool. It's a tool for drivers to maximize their rideshare profitability. And we are not a transportation network company. We do not have mileage rates. We do not have mileage and time, and we do not have a meter on our app. Our app is strictly a tool for you to be able to schedule reservation requests in advance in an app to manage your business for you. You can project out in your week, knowing that you have specific upcoming trip reservations that are already scheduled, and you know exactly how far they are, what time they are, what the rider incentive is being offered to you, and how much money you're going to essentially make depending on what platform you drive, whether it be Uber or Lyft. You can calculate your mileage and your fare per se from the transportation portion just by having the information visible to you in the UZURV driver app. So that's what it's designed to do. Like I said, the support questions, a lot of them are very basic. It's just people that were told, hey, you need to get this new app. It's called UZURV, UZURV, download it, and hey, good luck. and the driver drives off. Here's my code, and we'll see you on the street. When drivers are signing up with very little information, it's kind of the blind leading the blind, and we want to make sure when you send a ticket into support, we have our support team respond back with several links in the email at the bottom. Number one is to join this group, UZURV for Drivers. Number two is the link to the FAQ, Frequently Asked Questions page at UZURV.com. If you go to UZURV.com, you can click on Help, and you're going to get all the information. You can send a message direct to support. You can see the FAQs that are divided up by terms and conditions, legal questions, driver questions, rider questions, and everything is pretty much answered there as far as the common questions. But the support team will always give you a personal response for whatever your particular question is. So just remember that the volume coming into support is high, and the majority of the questions are basic. So if you have an advanced question that gets buried down below all these other basic questions, rest assured that within 24 to 48 hours, you're going to get a response directly from our support team with the answer you're looking for. If it's not the answer you're looking for, just reply back and clarify your question, or ask it here in UZURV for Drivers, and all the drivers that are in here, there's over 2,000 of them, are happy to offer their opinion and answer the question. It's a positive environment. We don't like seeing negativity in our group. It exists, we know it, but typically we try to convert the naysayers into positive thinkers by just offering our positive comments, messages of reassurance. And if it really comes down to it, at the bottom line, it's just we agree to disagree. And if you prefer not to be a member of UZURV for Drivers, that's fine. It's not for every driver, it's not for every rider, and it's not for every reservation request or trip request. It has a very specific need. It is a tool, and if you see some of my responses below in the group here, you'll see I use it often. Sometimes I cut and paste it, but it does say UZURV is a tool for drivers, and tools require work. A lot of drivers go, well, I've had this app and I don't get any requests, or I click on these requests and they're taken within seconds by somebody else. Well, remember that riders are referred. All of them are referred by someone. A driver told them about it, or a friend told them about it, gave them a code, and they signed up and they used the system. And if they did not choose their favorite driver right away and they put it out in the general feed, which most of you see, this person doesn't have a favorite driver, or they haven't picked them yet. And they're looking for that level of service. This is not just sitting on the corner waiting for a ping on your phone and waiting for a trip that someone else generated. This is for you to generate your own business by referring your riders so that they request you again. And hopefully you can go into this with the mindset that these are clients. These are your clients. And there should be a mutual expectation between the two of you. This is above and beyond the normal rideshare experience. And if you go into it like that and you treat your new riders like clients, the first thing you want to do when you get them in a car is talk to them about, do you have favorite drivers? If not, let me show you how to make me your favorite driver. And next question may be regarding incentive. Hey, I noticed that this particular trip request or reservation request had a $0 incentive. Were you familiar with what the incentive function is? And a lot of them are going to say no, because they're brand new and they heard that the first 3 reservations were free and they didn't understand why the default incentive was $3. And you go, well, this is an extra level of service for rideshare. You're already an Uber or Lyft user. You love the service, and you've scheduled this particular trip in advance. So let me explain to you the drivers that are using UZURV, the drivers that go out of their way to take these reservation requests are offering a higher level of service, like myself. And the incentive is a way to show your gratitude to your driver in advance. And we do all drive for Uber and Lyft. We get the 80% or 75%, or in some cases 70% of the fare. And we do appreciate any additional incentive that you can place on this particular trip request for me to go offline for the time required in order to get to your location early or on time and be able to serve you at a higher level. Okay. And if you guys are offering water in your cars, if you're offering hotspot in your car, you're offering a disco ball, whatever the experience is that you're offering, explain it to your rider and just say, hey, if you appreciate the level of service that I gave to you today, it's okay that this was a zero incentive, but next time, if it's worth it, please use the incentive accordingly. And you know what? People go, oh my gosh, I didn't know. I had no idea. You know what? I would like to, offer you a gratuity or offer you a tip. It's a great conversation piece. I'm not telling you exactly how to do it, but I am telling you that there are people successful out there of giving that message of what the incentive is and are successful in it, in building additional revenue off of each individual completed trip request. So I want to send some congratulations out to Mr. Raymond again. I know we talked about him last week, Raymond T. down in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Raymond, he posted, I wouldn't mind posting either, but he made over $400 worth of rider incentives on UZURV last month. And that is the most I've seen to date. And he has some very loyal clients that very graciously incentivize him to take those reservation requests. And, there are a lot of questions about the payout process. And as I segued into this segment of this live broadcast, it was about the payment process. We accrue all of your incentives for the month, for the calendar month, and we pay all the transaction fees on those transactions. So, whatever we pay our bank, it's several percent. We pay them in order to process that payment from your rider, and we hold that for you, and we pay it out to you in full. So we actually lose money by collecting your incentive. It may change down the road. Keep that in mind. But for now, we're passing that along to you 100% in full on the 7th of the month, hopefully before, but on or before the 7th of the month, and making sure that everyone gets paid on time. We do need your address. And you've heard us say this over and over, and you've seen the emails, and a lot of you may have got text messages and emails yesterday saying that we didn't have your address. There were some kinks in the data. I apologize for that, but I'm glad we got the message out, because we got hundreds of email or responses to the link to the web form with the mailing address. And that was the biggest response we had in one day of drivers submitting their information so that we can get you paid. And right now, yes, it is a manual process. They get processed through Bank of America, get mailed to you. And like I said, we're going out of our way to make sure you get paid on time. If there's a problem, let us know right away. All right. Moving on from there, we talked about our meetings that are going on in these cities. We talked about the driver payout. We talked about drivers being successful with their incentive amount. And with Raymond being a great example, we want to see more. We want to see more examples of drivers in this group posting your incentives. Show your incentives. Let's show referrals. I want to see screenshots of how many referrals you have for drivers and riders. We want to see, great stories of, gracious riders. I mean, with all these snowstorms and you saw Harold Franz, our co-founder, he posted his results from this weekend. I jumped in and posted my results from this weekend, which were very similar to Harold's in some regard. But riders are gracious, and they really appreciate you going out of your way to offer that extra level of service. And we want to see more stories of that from you. We want to see the success that you're having out there in seeing UZURV grow. We want to make sure that it's beneficial to each and every one of you. And with all the success stories that you're able to share, the other drivers are going to appreciate it just as much to see what else is possible and hopefully get some ideas in tweaking their particular situation to where they can next month be in the same situation that you're in. So all of those aspects are what we're here for. So we want to support each other. We want to grow this system. We're very close to launching some big programs. I'm going to give you a little insight to one before I end this video. And anyone who's posting comments down below, because we're using the new video system here, I'm not able to see the comments as they roll in. We will respond to all the comments in the section below where this video is playing. This will be pinned at the top of the UZURV for Drivers feed for at least a couple days so that everyone can get a chance to see what we're talking about and join into the comments. So screenshots, everyone loves pictures, everyone loves stories. Definitely, if you've got a success story, drop it into the comments, and we'll all jump in there later and offer our tidbits of knowledge to assist you. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video, but I appreciate everyone tuning in. If you didn't get a chance to see this live, like I said, it'll be here on the page. We do this every week at 3 o'clock Eastern time, and we're in Philadelphia this week. We'll probably be coming to you from the road, I would say, at this time next week on the way to Cincinnati. And hopefully the audio is a little better in this particular room, since it is silent and furnished, so we don't have as much echo here as we did last week in our conference room in our headquarters building, which has a real high ceiling. So if the audio was good, let me know. I know I've had several of you suggest that we upgrade the microphones and try some new technology, and we will definitely continue to improve in any way we can. But before I go and before I wrap it up, the one thing I want to talk about is one of the projects that is getting ready to launch. This is a test. It's launching in Richmond, Virginia, which is our home market. And this is with one of our medical partners called Partners MD or Partner MD. And they have a couple different aspects to their business, but they do have a transportation component of moving patients to and from appointments, whether they be private, whether they be corporate. They have several different channels of their business where they move their clients around for them or provide the transportation for them. They are going to be adopting UZURV as a market test in Richmond, Virginia. They do have offices in Northern Virginia and I believe in North Carolina and a couple other in major cities in North Carolina and some others. But if this is successful, they are a big proponent and they're local in our home market. This could be one of our first big corporate partners. And what they've done is they've actually scripted what they expect. And they say, if a driver wants to be part of the Partner MD program, then there are specific vehicle requirements that are going to be needed. And once we get a chance to brief drivers that are interested in this program, it's an opportunity for a constant flow of high-end, gracious riders that are going to be popping into the feed. They're going to be popping into a limited number of drivers, which will be favorited essentially by the organization. So they'll have their specific pool of favorite drivers that they will send these requests out to. And I will tell you, if that isn't a reason to be a part of UZURV, then hopefully you understand it now, because these requests are not going out to all of the rideshare drivers in your market. They're only going out to a very select few. And if you're able to book up your schedule with these types of requests, you've got your week planned out for you, and you can make a very profitable rideshare business by appointment only. And I know a lot of you would love to drive by appointment only and make as much or more than you're making today. With the ability to add incentives on the top, you spend less gas, you're going to waste less time, you can schedule your day a little bit more structured than what you have today. And then you can decide if you want to be crazy like me and go out and drive on Friday, Saturday nights and deal with the bar rush and the late night crowd and some of the behavioral issues that go along with it, and cleaning out your car the next day and trying to collect on fares that maybe didn't go the way they were supposed to. So there are advantages to UZURV. We're continuing to tease and show you what those are. And as we develop these programs, there's no reason that they won't continue to expand throughout the nation into multiple cities. So little plug there for our new partner in our test in Richmond. And right now, if you're in the Richmond market, I think Brooke from our office sent out an email today and posted in the Richmond user Facebook group looking for interested drivers that are willing to meet the requirements that she listed. And if you're interested in that, then definitely get ready for the orientation and putting this test in motion. So we're excited about it. I know that our entire corporate team is excited about it. We've made some major headway on our migration of our back-end server, and UZURV is just getting stronger and larger, and building from a great foundation and adding some new programs. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next week, Tuesday, 3 o'clock Eastern time, same place, same channel, UZURV for Drivers. Comment below, and we'll jump into the comments and answer all your questions probably within the next 30 minutes, since all